Hey readers, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Wendy, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. So I started the Throne of Glass series for the first time. I went through books 1 and 2, and then I read Assassin's Blade. I just went by how the author published, and there's just so many different ideas out there on how to read this series, but I decided to read Assassin's Blade third. So currently I am on Heir of Fire, and my husband gifted me this Kindle Colorsoft for my birthday, which is coming up soon. He just decided to do an early birthday present, and I am so in love with it. So let's talk about this book so far. So far I've read chapters 1 through 8. Now this book was not at all what I expected so far. It's kind of diving into a new world, and we're diving into Selena, the female main character's story, or her past, I guess you can say. And I absolutely love Throne of Glass and Crown of Midnight, I believe the second book is. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I sort of liked Assassin's Blade. I understood it. I understood why it needed to be where it needed to be. And I also found that Assassin's Blade was a good history into who Selena Sardathian really is. And also who Arobin is. We know him as the Assassin's King, and he's just this huge big deal within the Assassin's League or whatever. We got to see a glimpse of how narcissistic and just kind of how weird their relationship is. He kind of treats her like a daughter, but then he kind of likes her in a romantic way, sort of, but then he treats her like property. So it's kind of like a confusing thing because you don't know what way he's gonna swing. But one thing's for sure, he is a very manipulative, a very evil man, very conniving, very plotty, and yeah. It's not good at all. Now, this is going to be a series for me. If you are just now reading the series, you are more than welcome to join me on this journey. And if you've already read this, then you can absolutely have a conversation with me on your thoughts. I would love to know them in the comment section below. And also, if you've never read Throne of Glass, well, this is going to have a lot of spoilers. So if you want to go ahead and read, you may, and then you can just come back and we can discuss it when you're ready. Okay, so right off the bat, we see Selena's transition into Wendelin, this new place that she is supposed to know. This is where she wants to get a lot of answers, and she is a drunk. She's just drinking and just fighting. I think she has a lot of demons to unleash. I think going into her past and getting to meet these fae people that she is pondering about, like, family, and kind of going back to her life before, is bringing about some trauma. And I just don't know what that trauma is yet, but I feel like this book we're going to get a glimpse into what the trauma is. Now in this book I found it weird because it goes, Selena, then a little bit of Dorian in the first couple of chapters, and then it goes into a whole new different character, and her name is Manon. And I went into my Spotify Audible to find out what the pronunciation of her name is. They say Manon. I was about to say Manon, but thankfully I went into Audible or into my Spotify minutes and figured out, because I don't want to call her something that she isn't, you know what I mean? And then I'm gonna have to get corrected every time. So we get to see this new character named Manon, and Manon Blackbeak seems like a badass so far, and she's a witch. So we're getting introduced into witches, which we were curious about. Well, I was curious about in the earlier books when Selena did meet a witch, and she just killed her. But I am very interested to know more about the witches, more about their history, and I found that this character, Manon, is very interesting, and she seems like a threat. But I just thought it was just super random to just put I just thought it was super random to just put this character in the middle of nowhere. And I'm just like, wait, Did I miss something? Did I miss a character in the last couple of books? Like, who is this person? But I am not going to skip over her chapters. I mean, she seems like a character worth knowing, and I'm interested in her character development and who she is and how she's going to tie in with Celaena Sordothian, or aka Aelin. And then also we get to meet Rowan. Now, it is so hard not to see spoilers on Instagram and all these other different places like TikTok and just social media in general when it comes to books. So I knew that Rowan was going to be Celaena's love interest because, well, sometimes people just don't put any, disclaimer or, saying, hey, this is a warning, none of that. So I figured who Rowan was. So this is going to be Celaena's love interest. And to me, he seems like such a bad boy. So far, he seems like the type of like Xaden Ryerson, with a little bit of Rhysand, and I can already tell that this is going to be like an enemies to lovers trope. But I do have a couple of things that I need to discuss with you guys about Rowan. So this part, this was in chapter 7, and this part kind of got me thinking a lot about Celaena and what her journey has been, because we got to see a glimpse of her journey in Assassin's Blade, but this one struck a chord for me. She said, this was when she met Rowan, she said she had debated asking him what the words meant, but that would involve talking, and talking meant building some sort of relationship. She'd had enough of friends, enough of them dying too, and I thought that that was the most depressing couple of sentences there. She doesn't want to get to know Rowan. She doesn't want to get to know more people. She doesn't want any more friendships because they just ending up dropping like flies. And I felt for her there. And this journey hasn't been easy for her. I mean, she's gone through a lot, and there's still more to uncover, especially about her childhood. So that quote, that whole little paragraph there was, it saddened me a little. And my first impressions on Rowan are he's just very quiet, very a man of a few words. However, you can just see the aura coming out of this man. I mean, just by the little bit that Celaena is able to describe him, and he's tatted up, he has face tattoos. Like, I mean, if you have face tattoos, that you're already, a certain description in my mind, you know what I mean? It's like I mean, you must have done something to get face tattoos. At the same time, I'm thinking, okay, this man ain't gonna be easy. But it is a true enemies to lovers, so that's that. But what was crazy to me about Rowan is that when Celaena meets Maeve, meaning her auntie, the auntie says Prince Rowan, and I'm like, wait, hold on a minute. Let's back this up a minute. She goes, it's from my sister Mora's bloodline. He is my nephew of sorts and a member of my household, an extremely distant relation of yours. There is some ancient ancestry linking you. Ma'am, I got confused there, because what do you mean an extremely distant relation of yours? If Maeve is Celaena's aunt, right? That means Celaena's mother is her sister. Therefore, Rowan's mother is the sister to Aelin's mother, who is the sister to Maeve, meaning Rowan and Celaena Sordothian, aka Aelin, is their cousins. Right? I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But what I'm getting from it is that they're cousins. So I don't know what this lady means by an extremely distant relation of yours. Like, what do you mean extremely distant relation of yours? But then again, I'm thinking, because Maeve doesn't like half-breeds, and she calls Celaena a half-breed because her mother married outside of Fae. And I guess she just kind of looks down at that bloodline as like tainted. But what do you mean distant relation of your... I mean, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below, because I'm pretty sure they're cousins. Now, let's bring it back to Maeve. In the last chapter that I read, chapter 8, now Maeve seems to be very powerful to me, because this lady knows everything about everything. I mean, she notices and knows things that she shouldn't know, and she's in another realm. I mean, she's in Fey world, and then Selena this whole time has been in mortal world. I mean, not mortal, she's been with humans. So how is it that she knows so much? Like, she looks at her hand too, and she can kind of tell that she made a pact, or she made a promise to Nehemia. And that to me is kind of like, how does this lady know so much? I don't trust Maeve. I just want to say that I don't trust Maeve. If you've read this series, let me know if my instincts are correct, but I don't trust this lady at all, because now she's saying, okay, well, to prove to me that you can be queen, and you prove to me that, you know, you can know all this information about the Keeds and the wards and all this other stuff, you need to prove it to me. And now you need to do this whole trial with Rowan, and you need to train with him. Girl. But the thing that struck me the most is that Selena's mother promised Maeve that she was going to show her Selena as a baby, and she didn't. She actually hid her. So that lets me know, okay, if Selena didn't even trust, like, if Selena's mother didn't even trust her, you know, as a sister, there's something there. This lady can't be trusted, and I'm pretty sure she's gonna cross Selena in a bad way. I hope I'm wrong, and I'm hoping that this lady has it in her heart, has some empathy in her heart, but by the way things are shaping up, I don't like her. I don't like her at all. I feel like there's something here that she's gonna be gaining. And yeah, she did tell her, okay, like, why do you want me to do all this stuff? Oh, so you can be queen. I don't think that's all she wrote. She doesn't seem to like Selena because she is half-breed, like she said. And then this is what she said about her parents, about Selena's parents. She said, they broke my laws. My laws. They broke my laws. Not the laws. My laws. You know, your parents disobeyed my commands when they eloped. Who is this lady? Like, okay, I know she's queen, but wouldn't Selena's mother have like some kind of, I don't know, hierarchy, you know? I found it very interesting. But anyways, it says, then she goes on to say, the bloodlines were too volatile to be mixed, but your mother promised to let me see you after you were born, which is what I described earlier. And then it says, Maeve cocked her head, eerily similar to the owl behind her. I want to know what the hell that owl is. I'm pretty sure that's a shapeshifter or whatever, but I want to know who was there listening, you know? Anyways, it would seem that in the 8 years after your birth, she was always too busy to uphold her vow. Yeah, her mama didn't like her. Her mama didn't trust her. I wonder why. As kind of like a wrap up of these 8 chapters that I read, Selena seems to hate like transforming into Fae, because right now she's like in her human form. She doesn't like it. Like, she went into the portal in the last couple of books to save, you know, her dog and also Kale, but she doesn't like being Fae, and I wonder why. She doesn't like that part of herself. And she says, she when she meets with Maeve, she's like, yeah, that person's dead. Aelin Ash River Galathinius is dead. So I wonder if it was Arabin that kind of broke that out of her, like broke that identity and said, no, you are Selena Sardathian, and that is who you are now, and this is who you are reborn into. I wonder if that was something that Arabin did. I'm not sure, but I want to keep reading just to see where this goes, and if Arabin ever shows back up again, because we kind of leave off as, you know, in Assassin's Blade, like he sends her off, like he sets her up, and that was it. But let me know in the comment section below, what are your thoughts? I would love to know what your thoughts are, and I'm gonna keep reading and I'm going to keep uploading as I read, and I hope to see you guys in my next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel if you love my content and want to continue watching. It is great to be back. And for those of you who have been following me for a little while now, yeah, I'm still pregnant. I'm in my second trimester, and it has been, whew, it's been a journey. But now I'm feeling much better, a little bit more energy and less sick, so I'm able to upload videos again. But yeah, it's been going, and we're having another little boy, so that's gonna be interesting to see. But yeah, I'm in my 20 weeks now. I'm halfway there, and yeah, we're just gonna keep trucking on and reading and going through the motions of Throne of Glass. So anyways, guys, I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time.